Hello everybody, apologies for the quite late weekly video update for week 2 of December. It was supposed to be from the 12th, I believe, or I can't even remember now. All I know is that I have probably mixed the dates, and there's a reason for that. I was actually supposed to upload it yesterday, which still would have been slightly late. However, I had what I like to do is I like to do the readings, and I really like to spend time analysing them. And I make notes, like lots and lots of notes, and I had written all my notes down. And then I came back to record it yesterday, when I could find quiet time, and then my notes had just deleted themselves. Something had happened, they disappeared, and I was like, oh my god. So I wanted to spend more time, reanalyzing and making sure everything was totally accurate for you guys. So I do apologize about the delay. I've just spent a minute talking about that, but yeah. So let's crack on with the reading. Yes, interestingly enough, the outcome card of last week's, or I say the previous reading, because I don't know if we can even use last week anymore, was the Page of Pentacles, and that actually is what happened to be. Excuse my hands, I was smudging earlier and I ended up getting ash on myself, so yeah, I'm not a dirty person, I just have ashy hands. But yes, Page of Pentacles was the bottom of the deck this week. So for me, that is about, again, how we can manifest ideas in a practical manner. And it's about asking ourselves, how we start again, and how do we look at what we do have instead of what we don't have. Um, it's also to me about keeping things fresh and young and youthful and new, and realizing the importance of that. So yes, that's bottom of the deck, so put that over here. Very Christmassy layout at the moment. We have a lovely Christmas tree in the background. A lovely red spread here today. So for the masculine, he comes in here with the Judgment card. There's a lot of big arcana, major arcana energies in this reading this week. Many actually. There's actually 3 on each side, and then 1 in the middle, so that's kind of crazy. Big week. I do feel that, he's done something and he's experiencing a period of reflection and self-evaluation. But this is really great. Despite what has happened, this is an important space that the masculine is in right now, because it entails that he's learned a lesson, almost. I feel like he's done something and it's had a negative effect on the relationship, and he's realizing now that he needs to treat things in a different way. That's what I get more than anything from this card. The masculine wants to be forgiven. Forgiveness is a very strong message, I feel, from this card. So yes, and the masculine comes in to meet that with the Queen of Wands. It's a very passionate queen. It's very passionate, fiery energy. And in this case, she's sitting on her throne, kind of, regally, and she's saying, well, I'm in a position to exert control over the situation, in a way, is what I get from this. There's an element of control, domineering, not necessarily in a cruel manner, but maybe in a justified manner. She's kind of like saying to him, well, you've got some serious making up to do. It's what I get from this card. It's what I get from that energy. So yeah, possibly because of some of these decisions he's made, possibly that haven't included her in the past. She's kind of in this very stubborn mindset I'm feeling right now. She's, again, I said she's very fiery, very passionate, and I think that the feminine has made herself quite clear to him about how she feels and her frustration over past happenings is what I get there. So yes, big energy there for the feminine, very, very feminine energy. Masculine comes in to that with the 5 of Pentacles, which kind of suggests he's feeling quite destitute right now, and perhaps this could be financial implications for some, but mostly what I'm getting from this card is he's feeling quite sorry for himself. Maybe the feminine's, quite literally kicked him out. Maybe he's just in the cold, outside in the cold. Maybe she's literally kicked him out. It could be quite literal, but also, just more than anything, it just shows me that he is feeling quite alone, quite bad for himself, quite impoverished. And when I say impoverished, I don't mean that he's necessarily poor in a financial state. I mean that he feels like he doesn't have anything. He doesn't feel like he has anything anymore. He feels like he's lost everything. feeling very guilty and very, very sorry for himself indeed, is what I get from the Five of Pentacles in this reading. And then the feminine comes and meets that with a big major arcana energy, the Justice card. And she's sitting here kind of saying, you know, she kind of knows that she's on top here, you know, in a way. She kind of knows that she's wearing the trousers, or the pants, if you're American, from what I can say from that. This kind of, you know, this is what's done is done. He deserves the suffering almost, and she doesn't want him to suffer, you know, but she is getting a little bit of a kick out of this, I think, is what I'm getting from that. Clearly something has happened to where she really feels like she's got some kind of emotional justification for how she's feeling. She's not being very empathetic, you know. She further reinstates to the masculine that his decisions and actions have had long-term consequences. So yeah, you know, she's not making this easy for him. But this also can be law and legalities if that applies to some in their relationship. So this card kind of speaks for itself quite heavily. So there we go. And then the masculine here has the Sun in reverse. And you know, I always say the Sun is not a negative card. It's not a negative card. But when it's in reverse, I like to kind of use the analogy of a cloud kind of covering the sun. It's still there, the sun is still shining in the sky, but you just can't see it through the clouds. And that's what I feel is happening with the masculine in regard to the reactions from the feminine. She's his light.